In this video, we'll learn about a man named Stan Kroenke and his chance meeting on an Aspen ski slope in the 1970s. Without that meeting, SoFi Stadium may have never been built.
Hello and welcome to Scott's Adventures. Today we have a really fun thing we're going to do. We're going to be touring SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, so it's not too far of a drive from our house, about 30 minutes north of us. So anyway, we'll be there in a short period of time, and let's go. Okay, so here we are at SoFi Stadium. Lily's cruising, kicking back in the O. So what do you think we're going to see today? Don't say SoFi Stadium.
That's what we're going to do.
We're going to see SoFi Stadium.
The locker rooms.
The locker rooms, the cheerleaders.
The cheerleaders.
Do they have
rooms.
cheerleaders? Because who plays here? The Rams and Chargers play here? Okay. So we're going to see there. And I think they have cheerleaders, so we're going to see their locker rooms. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to be the best use of space with this big thing. Lily was just saying that this could have been like a parking lot, or maybe they could make it into another venue. And well, I guess that's parking back there, right? A big parking lot. And then what is it in the background, way over here? It's another stadium. I thought it said the name of the stadium. So this is that new dome that they're building.
SoFi Stadium is not just one building, it's actually three independent structures. It's made up of the canopy, the stadium bowl, and the subterranean wall. In the event of an earthquake, all three of these can move independently, keeping the entire building safe. The facility costs over $5 billion to build, and we'll go over in a few minutes how Stan Kroenke came to be the one to own it.
We have our commemorative SoFi Stadium badges, each of us, and are you excited?
Alright, we got the green light.
Alright, here we go, green light. Okay, here we go. The tour is starting.
Now the 11th.
And my badge. My badge. And here we go.
In the stadium, there's actually no air conditioning or heating. It's completely open to the outside elements. That's because the canopy, it's not called a roof, but a canopy, just covers it and is open on all sides. But what this does is this allows for some nice shade, and no matter what the weather is, it's 10 degrees cooler inside the stadium than out. The field had to be lowered 100 feet below ground level, so the roof would clear airspace for LAX. The canopy also has thousands of LEDs on it, so it can change colors, it can have sponsors, names, flashing lights, go along to music. The light show is endless. The downside of that is the roof is not open or removable. So sadly, there's no chance for any fireworks, no flyovers, and no skydiving of people into the stadium. When you descend into the bowl, it's intended to give the feeling of trekking down a bluff to a California beach. The entire 300-acre campus is on the site of the former Hollywood Park racetrack, a famous track for horse racing that was there for many, many decades. It's so big, it's 3.5 times the size of Disneyland. A few notable things that happened back in 2020, Super Bowl 56 was held here, and coming up, the opening ceremonies for the Olympics will be at SoFi in 2028. The stadium is divided into two halves. One side is the Ram side, the other is the Chargers. They have separate locker rooms and everything is drawn right down the middle. And having two teams at one stadium allows you to have twice the home games. The center scoreboard weighs 2.2 million pounds and is hung from the ceiling and offers 4K video to everybody in the stadium. I actually spent more time staring at this whiteboard than anything else in the stadium. I'm a football fan, and I thought this was a great window into the Chargers' last game of last season and their pre-game ritual. On the left you see the actual time all the way to kickoff, and then a clock counting down almost every minute of what activities need to be done getting up to game time. I thought this was a really neat view into how the team operates. So let's get back to that story about Stan Kroenke. The SoFi Stadium would have never existed, most likely, if there wasn't a chance encounter between Stan and a woman he met on a ski trip in Aspen in the 1970s. That woman's name was Ann Walton, and she just happened to be the heiress of the Walmart fortune.
Positive stuff in the first half. Highlights offense takes back once again at the 35-yard line.
Hello, welcome to the field. How are you guys?
There you go. Oh, well, you hit the thing.
Emily's really good at this.
Okay, go. Yeah.
I just needed to get closer.
Down at the 10-yard line. So they continuing to be utilized on that ground game. Edwards on the first side. This will be a cabinet coming in.
Well, that just about does it. Wraps up our trip to SoFi Stadium. That was pretty cool, kind of behind the scenes on the field. And about a year ago, Lily and I took a trip. We were in Texas, and we took a trip to see AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys. And I couldn't help but comparing the two throughout our tour, kind of comparing the two. And we were driving somewhere and we had to stop, and I had a little bit of time to think, so I thought, while I'm waiting here in the parking lot, I'll just kind of wind it up and tell you. The AT&T Stadium, it's more enclosed. Lily reminded me that the side's open, but I didn't really remember that. It felt like it was more enclosed and climate controlled, very much polished, literally and figuratively. The floors were nice and shiny, and the whole place looked almost like a museum.
The freaking wrong card.
And it felt like you were inside a museum or something. Where the SoFi is a little bit bigger. They're about the same size. He said SoFi's 10 feet bigger, so you could say it's the biggest stadium. Holds 70,000 people. But it's much more of a SoCal feel. It's outside. You feel the breeze. You know, you kind of feel, you can feel the sun. You feel like you're at a park, or, I mean, it's definitely grittier and not quite as polished and nice. But you do get that SoCal feel of being outside and enjoying the nice weather that they have, where it seems like in Dallas, it's much more like this is a square building. You're inside this, climate controlled box that allows you to survive the heat, I guess, of Dallas, or the cold, or whatever it is there. But yeah, the vibe is definitely different. Museum vibe at AT&T, and SoCal outside at a kind of a park feel at SoFi. So anyway, we had a great time. We loved it. I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and we'll see you next time on Scott's Adventure. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.